In this week's I Hate Numbers video, I want to talk about and outline how you make that move to digital accounting. Digital accounting, by the way, is sometimes called cloud accounting. Those are one and the same thing. In last week's video, I went through the benefits of digital accounting. I thoroughly recommend that you check out that previous video, but this week is all about how do you make that transition. How do you make that change to digital accounting? Hi folks, my name is Mahmood, and for over 28 years as a business finance fixer accountant, I have been helping thousands of business owners make more money, reduce their stress and anxiety, save tax in their business, save time, and have the business lives they aspire to. And who wouldn't want that for their business? And I certainly want that for yours. Now, in this week's I Hate Numbers video, I'm going to outline 3 key stages that are involved in any transition, any move to digital accounting. Step number 1, or stage number 1, is the preparation. Now, the preparation can be as intensive as you would like it, and a lot will depend about whether you've already got an existing system, where you are in your business cycle, whether you are just starting out on your business journey, whether you're very established as an organisation, whether that's private or not-for-profit. But the key elements involved in preparation are as follows. Number 1, think about what you want your system to do for you. So if you want information to come from your digital accounting system, which I thoroughly recommend, what sort of reports are you after? You're after perhaps profit reports, but at what depth of detail do you wish to go down into? Because what that will help establish is what is it you want to track? What's important in your business by product groups, by services, by areas of the business that's important to track. Make sure you communicate what's going on with your team and those who are going to be interacting with your digital accounting system. If you've got an existing staff team, make sure they are involved in that conversation, because accounting systems are not just for the benefit of the accounts team, weird though it may sound. Other people in your organisation, other people in your business will be tapping into and making use of the information that's generated from your digital accounting system. Think carefully about what level of support and training that you will need there as well. Again, if you are an established organisation, whether that's an arts and cultural organisation, whether you're a private organisation, or whether you are a solopreneur or an entrepreneur, then you may have an existing system here already, and then you've got to think about what level of support you'll need, what level of awareness you have on digital accounting, what level of training you'll need, and again, think about that from the very beginning. Think about whether you want to call in experts like myself and my team. We are Zero Platinum partners. We've been doing this for quite a number of years now, and we've helped hundreds and thousands of businesses to actually make that step towards embracing digital accounting. So think carefully about what is it you want the system to do. Make sure you communicate that effectively with your team. Make sure you've considered the level of support and training that you need to help you articulate and answer those key questions. What's stage number 2? Well, stage number 2 is the migration. Now, that migration process is you go from your existing system, whether it's a spreadsheet you've been using, whether it's a desk-based piece of software, or whether you're using an existing accounting system already that might have some elements of online. Over the years, we've helped many organisations migrate from an existing system that's not quite working out for them, moving from desk-based software systems or from the humble spreadsheet. So when you think about migration, think about what do you want to keep from your existing systems. So if you've already using a desk-based system, piece of software, you may want to keep the history of what your organisation has been up to. You want to keep the level of details of those transactions, and all that is perfectly possible. When we've moved clients across to digital accounting, that one of the questions we ask at the very beginning is, how much history do you wish to keep, and to what extent do you wish to keep that? Do you wish it summarised for the year, or do you wish to keep everything on a transactional level so you can actually look down over 3-4 years of that actual individual transaction history? What else do you need to think about? Well, you also need to think about, what does your accounts listing, your chart of accounts going to look like? Remember, this digital accounting system that you're going to be having coming into your business will be for your purposes, not for the production of year-end accounts and not to satisfy just the accounts team. So how do you want your accounts described? What headings would you like? What headings do you not have already that you'd like added in there? Also think about your customers and suppliers. If you've already got a CRM system, if your system has already got details of customers and suppliers, which ones of those are perhaps ones you haven't dealt with for quite a long time, so you can remove them? Which ones do you want to take across, or do you want a blank sheet and start afresh? Remember, if you've already got existing data and some of that data is valuable and you want to retain that, that should be part of that transfer process, part of that migration process. The other key things you need to think about when it comes to migration is choosing the date when you press the virtual trigger. Typically, we recommend, and this is in our guide, Releasing the Power of You, check out the show notes, that you typically do that transfer either at the end of a VAT quarter or at the end of your financial year. It's quite possible, by the way, if you wish to get stuck into sooner rather than later, that you can set up the new digital accounting system. You can start using it, getting familiar with that while you're working on the information that you want to transfer across. My personal view would be, if you're going to migrate, do the migration in one step, especially if you've got an existing system you want to transfer across, convert into your new package. Choose the date carefully, and also think about the level of support you think you will need. If you're very experienced and very expert in the field of digital accounting, if you're a very experienced finance team on hand, then you'll need less support. If you're not quite sure and it becomes a very turbulent future that you're looking at, then you need to call in the experts like ourselves. Obviously, part of that decision-making process at the beginning, by the way, is what accounting system will you plug into. There are many accounting packages out there. I have a particular favourite because of its usability, its ability to correct errors, its ability to track, its ability to integrate with applications that you have outside of your main accounting system. And again, one of those considerations you have at the beginning is what apps do you want to integrate with? If you've got a product-based business, you may want to have an inventory tracker, you may have one already. You may have a checkout system, you may have an iSettle system, a PayPal system. Those are things you need to be thinking about to actually blend within your new system. Remember, it's about saving time, it's about being productive, it's about being efficient. So thought at the beginning will save you a lot of heartache going forward. Now, once you press that button, so to speak, once you go live into your new system, then what happens on the third step? Well, the third step is ongoing. Now, it could be like any change of system that you have. It's going to be a little bit anxious. You need a lot of support at the beginning. There may be a training requirement, especially if people haven't used the new system. Now, again, my personal preference for me and my team is to use Xero. We are what are called platinum partners. We are accredited. We're all accredited advisors there. There are other applications out there, but I'm going to stick my neck out and stake a personal preference there. And again, if you need support, you need training, your staff team need to be developed, then you can access and you should get that training support that you need. You may only need a little bit of training to get you going, or you might need your hand virtually holding for the next few months until you become more comfortable. So think about what's that level of support you need and the ability to review what you've got already. My personal preference for most of the clients that we tend to deal with these days, whether they're arts-based organisations, whether they're private sector companies, is to give their staff team the tools, the knowledge to actually operate the system, to demonstrate, to give that initial impetus to that training, and then to monitor and review as one goes through. Once you've got your digital accounting system set up, then the world is going to be a much more open place and the power will come to your fingertips for things like planning, knowing how much profit you're making, which products are losing you money. The possibilities are endless. So folks, I hope you found this useful. And as I said, there is a free guide called Release the Power of You, which goes through the background of what digital or cloud accounting is all about, and it outlines the key steps that you need to do to go from nothing to something. Again, if you found this useful, I'd love it if you could share with those who you feel would benefit. And if you need any support in that migration, in that preparation, then drop us a line. Until then, happy digital accounting.